Chafing Armor Podcast, episode 89, Race to the Altar. Welcome back to the Chafing Armor Podcast. I'm your host and slightly hoarse Dungeon Master, Michael Corley. And with me tonight is Dare. Dare, tell everybody who you will be playing.
Hello, everyone. I am Dare, and I am playing Tix Birchmanson, your favorite diminutive cleric.
Indeed. And also with us tonight is Riley. Riley, tell us who you will be playing.
Hi, I'll be playing Athora Greyfield, a fighter tiefling.
Indeed, a full member of the party. And also with us is James. James, tell us who you will be playing.
Hello, my name is James, and I'm playing Penance Chalice, spell scale sorcerer, who apparently has a much deeper voice today.
Apparently so. Smooth and silky.
Yada, yada.
And last but certainly not least, especially in character height, is Izzy. Izzy, tell everyone who you will be playing.
Hello, everyone. My name is Izzy. I tonight will be playing Merezi Mugra, 6'5" Hackfork Barbarian.
Perfect. Now, when we last left all of the adventurers, you had successfully defeated the threat at the Simeon Crevasse. You had saved this strange thing, this remnant of the great wizard Bigsby, who may have been as much as 10,000 years old. You have found a few critical bits of information from him, which was, one, you are looking for a tiefling named Prognati, who can help you put the staff back together. Also, the Witch of the Lowlands is on the move, who would have been down south into the swamplands. She is on the move. You have no idea what she is, but you are looking for her as well. But you have heard that Prognati is the north. So we're doing a little bit of a time skip here. We're assuming that you've kind of gotten everything wrapped up back in the Palm Grove village. You've said your goodbyes to the ancient lizard martial artist.
I gave her my number.
This is actually about a month later. You have been traveling north. You have been traveling along Silkwind. Silkwind is a road that more or less goes along the Little Water River. The Little Water River can be transversed. It actually goes through an area near Massgate. And so it's used for trading goods. In fact, one of y'all is specifically, and that would be Tix, your lady love, back from the good ship Pisswhistle, had actually talked to you about this.
Duncan!
She is... Duncan, yes. She was a previously co-owner and is now the full owner of the good ship Pisswhistle. And so she talked to you about her trade routes, and once the goods would come in through the Sand Swallow Sea, a lot of those goods would go north, up either the Silkwind Road, but more often up Little Water to the north. And one of the first major stops up there is a place called Zentil Keep.
Oh,
That is where y'all have been heading, to Zentil Keep. Now, anyone who knows Dungeons & Dragons is aware that this is a known property in Dungeons & Dragons. What I want you to know is don't expect any of that to be true. It is my kind of baseline for this, and some of the information from the classic Dungeons & Dragons stories will be true, but anything I decide to change is changed. And y'all have been traveling north. Of course, one of the things you've noticed is that it's been getting progressively colder as you go north. This is troublesome to everyone, except perhaps one certain spell scale seems to be doing okay. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah. My collar's loose.
Just chilling in the breeze as the cold wind. Now, you are not in the middle of like a blizzard snowstorm, but at night it is quite uncomfortable if you have not taken proper precautions and that sort of thing. Also, I do want to say that at the last minor place that you met, it was agreed upon that when you got to Zentil Keep, Your friend, Althora, your Furbolg friend, is actually going to make plans to head off in a different direction. You've completed your quest that y'all were looking for, and also your new friends are really weird, and it's a bit much for him. He's kind of a low-key thief type guy, and this really isn't working out for him. So he's still with y'all right now, but he's actually looking to perhaps head back south with another party heading back down. So just kind of wanted to give y'all that heads up. So I want you all to imagine this hard ground. It's still fairly warm, but it's starting to get cold. And off in the distance from Zintil Keep, off in the distance, they can see boom, boom, boom. They can see a chicken hut heading up north, heading up the Silkwind Road. And that's when y'all hear battle klaxons. Bang, 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 bang. And you see flames come up. This is like very early evening. It's just starting, maybe dusk. And you see various alarms and klaxons and scurrying about at the keep's gate. There's a very large moat that is actually part of the Little Water. And you can see like portcullises. I'm sorry, I can't say that. That's one of those many
Portcullis.
Thank you. One of those portcullises come down, and you see all kinds of activities. Is there anything anyone would like to do?
Someone who's not me should go tell them we're not trying to kill them.
I guess.
Does anyone want to volunteer to do that?
I guess Tix will do it, since our resident spell scale sorcerer now is not necessarily
is what's
human looking anymore.
Oh, I'm only like that when I make an effort. Otherwise, and my wings I can fold up, so it's not like they're hanging out there all the time.
Yes. To clarify, his new form is at will. When he is in his default state, he looks as pretty as ever. He is also able to extend out wings at will, and is also fully able to change into a more dragon-like form that is completely, to some eyes, would be considered monstrous.
Right.
Well, then let's go use your diplomatic glow to smooth things over, if you go.
That sounds like a fantastic idea. How far out are we from the place-ish?
I would say you're probably about a quarter of a mile away.
Okay. Well, we should probably park the chicken hut and reduce the alarm and walk up there.
Okay. So y'all, the chicken hut comes to a stop. And that's and you're all, of course, as I've said before, there are various windows in the chicken hut that you can look out of. You can certainly peer out the front door, that sort of thing. And that's when you see the first flaming cannonball catapult coming in your direction.
Lovely.
Then maybe, we should have our resident spell scale piloting the chicken hut, so our sweet, sweet Audrey girl does not get hurt.
Let's get ourselves out of shot range.
Okay.
Audrey, dodge.
Okay, and as you have noted, and I'm until you say differently, I'm assuming you are. You can control Audrey very, very well inside the hut, and your control drastically drops the further you get from her.
Right.
So you no longer have to even touch the skull inside. You just have to be inside in order to control her. So I would like you to make an Arcana check.
Okay. Let me remind myself what my Arcana number is. 23.
I am not kidding. I am famous for my terrible rolls. They rolled a 19, and it had a +2 to hit. And so I was doing this as an opposed roll.
Okay.
So your 23 actually wins.
Yeah.
What that means is that it actually gets uncomfortably close. Is like you're walking forward, and then you start kind of doing like a back pedal before you turn, and it just like boom into the ground, and just dust and debris going up. All of the various animals in the hut. I'm assuming Aphil is flying up above.
Yeah.
But Aki is just slid across the floor and very upset, and you hear this just screech as Chop is just shaken all around. By the way, just so you know, before like about a day before, Osokai told you he wanted to take a little time to himself. Just the almost dying thing again.
Well, you know.
And he knows where you're heading, and so it's not like it's going to be hard for him to find y'all with a chicken hut and such. But Chop is actually still here. And he is very upset, and you just hear this ree as it goes. And so you're backing up, and I will say that, I mean, that was just barely in range for them, so you are out of range.
Okay.
But what would you like to do now?
I'm gonna tell Audrey to back up like maybe 300 feet, just to be well out of range and to be less threatening. You know, backing away is always a good sign.
Okay. And you see a small detachment of soldiers coming out towards y'all, obviously aggressively, with their pikes are lowered, and they're slowly marching towards you.
All right.
Hey.
Yay! All right, Tix, you ready for this?
I am.
All right, let's make our way up there, and I'll kick on my glow and just like casually walk in their direction. You know, hands out so that they can see I'm not holding a weapon. I'll leave my staff on Audrey.
And I'll cast Sanctuary on the two of us, or on myself, and stay in close proximity to our blue diplomat.
Okay.
That's a horrible nickname.
So just to clarify, y'all are the only two that are out right now?
Yes.
You're right.
Okay.
Merezi thinks she's not good for this. She's self-aware.
Yes. She knows
you're
her
growing.
strengths.
You're growing.
Her strengths and weaknesses. And so as they march forward, the who clearly seems to be in charge says, "Halt!" And he points to you, Tix. And he says, good sir, priest, do you require assistance? We will be happy to rescue you."
No, we are here together on a quest, and this is my eminent colleague, Penton.
Hello.
And he turns to you, Penton, and he says, "Shut your dirty mouth." And
Racist!
He turns back to you, Tix, and he says, "Are you certain?" And then he glares over at you, Penton, "that you do not require assistance? We will be happy to dispatch of this creature for you."
Now, what would make you think that he in any way would be causing problems? This, my eminent friend, is well thought of throughout many lands, and we are here on a God-given mission together.
Okay, so I would like you to make a diplomacy roll, and you would have a -4.
Ooh.
-4, wow. Let's see, my diplomacy is +8. And so that is all of a 13.
13?
Yeah.
Okay. So that is neither a success nor quite a failure. And he says, "It is clear that there is magical works going on here, most foul. Are you perhaps, do you want us to take you to our enchanter? They can see if there's any enscrollment that you need to be removed from."
My god, Garl Glittergold, make sure that I am not ensorcered or cursed. And I would love to meet with your leaders or chief priests to find out what is going on in your township.
Very well. You may certainly come with us, and with your assurance of good behavior, your compatriot may as well, but you must vouch for their good behavior.
Penton, I would suggest maybe I make the inroads here Do you
Well,
want
that seems
to
evident.
oversee Audrey for a while?
Well, you really going to go in that place by yourself?
Well, I am protected at the moment.
Well, I guess so.
It might make things go smoother.
They just have to get to know me.
Do you think they hate orcs too? Can Maresi hear this? Is she close enough to hear this?
I will say that all of you can hear what's going on because you can't hear the entire conversation, but you sure get the gist of it.
Hey! Can I come too?
Tix just shakes his head and smirks.
Everyone swivels and the pikes kind of raise up,
Uh-oh.
and they go. He goes, "My God, so there are more of them."
Ouch.
There's quite a few of us. So,
Oh,
Pinton, they seem a bit twitchy. Do you feel up to going into the lion's den, or do you want to go oversee our junior companions?
I just want to know what it is they don't like about me. I'm not used to this.
Well,
Can you ask them?
I will ask them.
I don't want to ask myself because they'll yell at me.
Guards, what is it that troubles you about my companion so much?
is it not obvious? He is a spell scale. His blood is tainted.
And
Tainted blood.
I'm impure. Oh, I see. I'm impure.
They're racist.
oh.
Yay.
Fantasy racism.
And so, what is
You have
the
no idea how impure I am, sir.
what is the makeup of your township here? Who lives here?
We of course, have all of the good races here. We have humans, of course, such as myself, and wonderful gnomes, such as yourself, hard-working dwarves, and elves and half-elves of every description.
And that's all the good races?
That it?
What other races would there be?
Well, there seem to be
Ooh,
many more
I
races
think-
in this world.
I think
Well-
Marezi walks out, like, unrelated. She's just like,
Hey! You guys okay? Hey!
Okay, let me see.
oh god, is he
your
rolling?
is your armor class 19? Did you say? It's 19.
18.
It's 18.
Oh,
So we
no.
have our homebrew that defender wins, even though I believe that is not the. So one of them rolled one rolled an 8, so they miss, but one rolled an 18, and so literally it's just basically a couple of the guards panic who were in the back who had arrows, and one of them just sticks right in your scale armor. As you just imagine you like leaning out the hut and going, "Hey!" and then you look down at it and go, "Oh." They literally open fire upon you, Marezi.
Okay!
And then he
I go-
actually the leader actually like kind of puts out his hand like, "Oh, whoa. But yeah, that is the response.
And so Tix draws Destiny Seeker and goes front forward in front of them and says, "That was rude, and we are guests by common law who have done nothing to provoke your attack. I seem to recall that in most circumstances, you either owe us reparations or the person's head who seemed to have lost his."
Very good. So I want you to roll diplomacy again, but no, yes, I want you to roll diplomacy again, but this time still at -4, but with advantage. So you roll twice.
Okay, 2 dice. One is a natural 20,
Nice.
and the other one is a 12. So,
Okay, so that natural 20 rolls, and just so you know, from a role-playing perspective, if y'all ever can give me something good like that, I like it a lot.
yeah.
This is like back when Pinson came up with maritime law to explain why the gentleman loft couldn't have Audrey.
Yeah, so that,
So
that will be a 24 with the -4.
According to the diplomacy chart, that would put somebody from hostile to indifferent. do with that as you will.
They are definitely hostile. And what I will say is, you have to understand that when you have a deep-seated belief, it doesn't just go away with a good roll.
Sure.
However, it does absolutely change their attitude at the moment. And what you see is kind of like all of the heads turn back to the two guys who let loose the arrows, and they just kind of like slowly put the bows behind their back, like as if you couldn't see it. Marezi, do you want to do anything with the arrow sticking out of your chest harmlessly?
I take it out and say,
I like your attitude. Nice to meet you.
And I should mention, by the way, Riley, Athora, are you going to do anything?
For right now, my friend was just shot, so I'm gonna stay in the hut for the minute.
Yeah, that is a very wise course of action,
I don't think I'd be
yeah,
very
Marezi's
liked.
too curious to be wise.
I don't think I'd be too liked.
Yeah.
Personally.
As a tiefling, you have been through a lot in your life, and every town is different, but if you hear people talking about tainted blood,
yeah.
You know kind of what to expect.
So for now, I'm fine in here.
Now, I want you to imagine all of this is going on. This is going to... So, Tix, they are going to take you back to the town leader.
Right.
Do you want to take anyone with you? Because you can now because of your role.
Marezi seems like she'd like to go if Tix is okay with that.
You can.
Or maybe somebody a little more less tainted. That might, raise fewer hackles.
Well, we don't have anybody. In their eyes, everybody is tainted.
Because we all thought it would be fun to play races besides elf, dwarf, human.
Unfortunately, one of our more human-looking bear boy is unavailable. So, I would say at this point that I will go it alone just to try and decrease the tensions. And I am going to use the arrow shots to our advantage in our negotiations.
Okay. So we'll cut right there. I want to talk about something else while you're back in the hut, Athora.
Mm-hmm. Yes?
I'm going to get to you in just a second, but what happens, what I want y'all to imagine is that one of the, it's canonically established that one of the windows is broken open because Tix smashed it open so he could shoot his crossbow out.
Oh, yeah.
And a creature just crawls right in the hut, just crawls in the window, and it's making little clickety-clackety noises. But because you are very focused on what's going on out front, you actually don't notice this right at first, Athora. Who does notice this is Chop. So, Chop, you actually see a skeletal, rotting chipmunk just into the hut. And what would you like to do?
Ouch.
That seems to be about what would happen.
Yes, it does. So, I mean, would Chop raise the alarm? Would he investigate? What would he do?
Pretty much. Yeah, he'd raise the alarm. He'd make a lot of noise and point. As best as a 4 foot tall savage boar would be able to point.
Okay. So I will say that there's no rolls needed. Athora, you and to a lesser extent, Marezi, because you were kind of half in, half out. You certainly hear this outcry and turn and look, and you just see this little, it is clearly dead, very very dead, like exposed bones type creature. This little chipmunk just comes
sick!
Into the hut. What would you like to do?
Do we have like a glass jar or anything we can trap it in? Like, just.
This is a
fantastic idea.
Just put a bucket over the top and then slide a piece of paper underneath. We'll put it outside. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, I mean, this is
Or we can kill it.
That is coming from someone who once put a bucket over a boohag's head, so, you know.
Yeah, I don't think we should kill it. It doesn't seem hostile, and we need to know what it's doing.
And it's
a
already dead.
chipmunk. So it's dead. It's a chipmunk kind of thing.
Yes. Riley has a thing for rodentia.
Okay.
I do love rodentia.
There are absolutely various empty containers, and one of which would suffice. And for the sake of this, let's say that it is a large glass jar.
Cool. Okay.
So I would like you to literally roll to attack. This is just a straight attack roll with your attack bonus.
Okay. That's a 9.
Ooh.
A
9. Unfortunately, will not do it. It's faster than you thought it would be. It's like, oh, well, it's a corpse. Can't be that. And you just kind of like do that tunk. And there's that moment where like your brain tells you that it's in there. And then you realize that it's not. And like just a little wisp of hair left over from its tail is just like stuck in the corner. And it just goes, it just goes, Morezi or Chop, do you want to do anything?
I want to roll to try and grab it. Should I roll attack or grapple?
Yeah, just attack roll. Obviously, you just straight attack.
Ooh, that's an 11.
11 will not do it. Just imagine, y'all have defeated like powerful creatures of magic, and there's just this moment of like tunk, tunk, and like you slide forward, Morezi, with both hands, and there's that moment where your hands just close together, and it just whip. Pops out the top, and there's a moment where it's actually sitting on the top of your hands, closed together, and it tilts its head a little bit at you and goes, and then
Tom and
it
Jerry.
runs straight at your face, Morezi.
Oh,
and then it turns, and it splits, just like cracks like an egg. And exposes its rotting insides.
I think killing it might be a good choice now.
And there is something inside.
is it my fortune? Is it a little paper that tells me my lucky numbers?
You will be grossed out today. Lucky numbers 7, 12, and 14.
The funny thing is, you're not entirely wrong. There is a little rolled note inside.
Ooh.
I can't read.
Athora,
Yep,
I can't
yep.
read.
Oh, okay. I guess I grab
Reach
it.
inside that squirrel. Reach inside, deep inside, and pull it out.
I very carefully reach in and grab it, and I'm gross, but it's fine. It's okay.
Yep.
It's okay.
You are a hardened warrior, but even so, this is really gross. And you just reach in, and there's just kind of this like, as it just slides out, and like just a little bit of entrail is just left on the edge. The paper's been treated with some kind of wax to preserve it, because otherwise it would have been destroyed inside. But it's just a little note.
Worst mail service ever.
So
Is it from that chick from the Adventure Zone? Did you steal it from her?
No, this is of my own creation. So.
OC, do not steal.
That's
okay,
right.
Athora, read it. I can't
she did have
read.
a dancing corpse, but no, this is some other dumb thing that I'm doing. What languages do you speak, Athora?
Let me check. Common and abyssal.
Common and abyssal.
Like you do.
It amuses me too much that I think that this is in abyssal. I like that. I like that very much. It's written with an elven script, like a elven type of writing, but it's in abyssal. It's very precise. And it says, "I am not your enemy. Beware. The mayor is not what he seems." And it is signed Gorluin.
Lewin?
Yep. And with that, the chipmunk, there's a as it snaps itself back together, and it it runs up to you, Chop, to investigate you. Like it runs up and it goes up on two legs and like looks at you. What would you like to do?
I don't know, Timon.
Yeah, you go. Ah, yakin, yup, yup, yup.
Hakuna Matata.
What a wonderful phrase.
But
Chop is
go ahead.
more
Means
than
no
likely.
dead squirrels.
I mean, probably gonna try and eat it. To be fair.
okay. So that like a couple of things. One, of course, Chop has an incredible sense of smell as a truffle hunting pig,
Truffle boar,
or
yes.
boar, a truffle boar. So it doesn't smell good. But then the other thing is when you get there's something other than just the rotting flesh. There's something in the essence of this creature that in your boar mind, which is much more intelligent than a normal boar, but is still not human intelligence. It reminds you of your first master years ago back on the island of the dead, and you suddenly like it's like a sense memory, like a pup who was separated from their master and is with someone else now, but then they meet them again as adults, and it just like there's like an electric connection when you smell it.
Oh, with that in mind, this thing doesn't look that appetizing anymore.
So y'all both see like its mouth, like Chop's mouth, like and you're almost like no, and then it stops and regards it, and it regards you, and you think maybe something similar is going on, almost as if it recognizes something in you, and then it turns and scurries back out the window, unless anyone's going to try to stop it.
No.
No. Be good.
So did we establish, Tix, that this is just you?
Yes, just Tix is going in, and Penton hopefully is going to go back and mind the children.
Yeah, well, I'll stay in my spot until you're off in the distance, just to make sure nothing goes weird.
And also, I'm greatly enjoying your drawing, Izzy,
Yes.
of D&D racism. I need to make sure and put up on the board.
It's gonna be finished by the time we're done. Don't worry.
By the way, also I'm saying, speaking of pictures, we got some wonderful fan art from our wonderful user Rainbow Boy, who we featured in an earlier episode. And
Thank you, Rainbow Boy.
Thank you very much. I like how you drew Tix.
Thank you.
Yes, the details were great, and we really enjoyed it, and y'all could see it on the page on chafingarmor.com.
You're awesome.
I don't want to have a huge, long exchange with just one of the characters where y'all are all having to sit and twiddle your collective thumbs, so I want to kind of summarize this a little bit, Tix. But you are taken to the town elder, who's called a mayor here. He's that's a very important role in at this keep. His name is Rathal, and he is human, very decked out in resplendent robes. Not your typical though, like fat bearded, elderman type guy that you're thinking. He's fairly fit, fairly young, but clearly likes the good things in life. And so I just want you to tell me like some things that you would tell him to convince him to let y'all come into the town and to stay.
That we are going to be passing through on a quest given by the gods to save all the realms, and that because of his soldiers' less than stellar hospitality, we should be compensated for the inconvenience, and even if the town tends to shy away from outsiders, that we should be allowed sanctuary for the time of our stay, and with the promise of compensation so that we do not have to rely and invoke the laws of hospitality across the realms.
And you really have you can tell you have an effect on him. While it is the further you get away from the main, y'all, Mascate is not the capital of Hyboria, of this kingdom, but Mascate is very important. And y'all, of course, met the king of Hyboria, and Zental Keep is under the rule of that king, even though that's a little tiny bit on the outskirts, but not too much. Y'all have been traveling for a month, so this is a good ways away. This is not just like a few days' journey. And he does seem to listen to your words, but he wants something in return. So he says, I will give you and your companions safe passage in our city. You may stay here if you like. I will speak with the owner of the Bobcat Inn and arrange so that you have freedom to stay there without being molested. And but if I understand from what you've told me of your tale, you are adventurers, are you not?
No, we are not. We are divinely appointed minions of our gods. We have been appointed by heavenly authorities to do a specific task. We are not some murder hobos out to earn coin. I think any manipulation of our good intentions in direct violation of the hospitality laws of the realms would be looked down upon and might incur divine wrath.
Okay.
And I'm
Now,
laying it on thick. Tix is using
This is
all of his height, and he has made sure that his clerical robes are front and center, and that his representation of Garl Glitter Gold is first and foremost in the mayor's face.
So
if everybody else is in black suits and black sunglasses, and we're on a mission from God.
That's right.
And tell the listeners again how tall you are.
Pix is all of 3'7".
All of his 3'7" rises up. You get the
47 pounds.
Soaking wet. You get the impression that he would have given you a bigger stink, but he is surrounded by for lack of a better term, the court here, even though it's not an official court, and he does not. These are going against common law and laws of courtesy and laws of, laws
divine wrath.
Yeah, that will bring on some serious divine wrath. Every culture, every god has a story of someone who broke the laws of hospitality, and the worst thing happened to them.
We need Fugly here to tell the story of the Red Wedding.
That's right. So you really lay that on, and you can see it makes people uneasy. And so what they are going to do is draft up letters of writ that will allow safe passage for your compatriots, but it is with the understanding that they get up to absolutely no trouble while they're in town, or things will go badly. They have also reached out to the owner of the Bobcat Inn by the name of Ivaran. And that you will be allowed to stay there, obviously upon payment. That's not really a problem for y'all. Y'all have a lot of money.
So why do we have to stay here again?
Well, you don't have to stay here. The main reason that you want to come here is that you believe there's a good chance that Prognati may be here.
Okay.
Or that you might be able to find clues of where he goes. Because otherwise, you're just wandering in the north, and that is that's like saying like somebody's in Canada. It's not going to help a whole lot.
There's just a little space that we have to explore.
Exactly. If you one, of course, can find him here, or more likely, if you can find out where he may be or may be going.
Okay.
You don't even know what he's about. You don't know if he's a warrior or a tailor.
And so I have gotten the impression that the mayor is trying to be manipulative. So once I collect the writs, I will head back to Audrey, letting the township know that we will be bringing the chicken hut in next to the Bobcat Inn, where we will stay for a brief period before moving on. And then I will head out to Penton and the others to let them know about the arrangements that have been made and my impression of the mayor.
Okay. And they're glowing, I'm sure.
Yeah. Manipulative frat boy.
Tix, a dead squirrel.
I'm gonna assume that Althea told us the contents.
A dead squirrel told us that the mayor might be evil, or at least not what he seems. So maybe like a ghost or something?
Thank you, Morezi.
I
Althea.
don't think he's a ghost.
Yeah.
So there's...
I'm so grossed out.
So Penton, what can we
That was
learn
pretty
from
nasty.
this? One, that there's a necromancer around here of some sort.
Right, probably on the ground somewhere. And he is trying to give us a friendly warning? I don't know how friendly a dead squirrel is, but, at least it's not a person.
Necromancers just are like that.
At least it's not a person.
Yeah.
That
would be much worse.
Yeah, if just a corpse came slithering in the window there and cracked itself open. that would be a very different experience.
Yeah. Well, I'd say let's go in, keep ourselves as inconspicuous as possible, as one can with a giant chicken hut, and see what we can find out. And maybe this.
My suggestion would be, once we get to the inn and wherever there is a restaurant, you all allow others to make contact with you that are hopefully friendly. And I, in my more accepted status here, will go search for information on Prognati. I doubt it will be hard to find people who have opinions on tieflings.
I imagine so.
Okay. And I totally just whatever you. What kind of restaurant do you think you're going to end up in?
Well, I would assume that the inn just has a hearth and a kitchen to serve travelers.
I think it's a Chick-fil-A, given this town.
Yep. So there is the equivalent of a medieval Chick-fil-A, where they serve chicken and they serve toasted bread, and that is all. And so
they give their money to people who want to, not let orcs into their towns.
Mm-hmm. So the door to medieval Chick-fil-A, James, you are much better at puns than I. What would be a good name for a medieval Chick-fil-A?
Oh God!
Put you on the spot.
You have to give me a minute on that one.
It's okay.
I don't even know why they call it Chick-fil-A. What is filet?
Filet. It's a learning
Village
moment.
of Ye Chicken.
Let's just
don't
call
worry,
it,
we can edit
let's
out
call
this.
We can call it Ye Chicken.
Ye Chicken.
Not to be confused with Yeet Chicken.
Oh no.
Ye Chicken. Y'all. I want y'all to imagine the door creaking open, and in walks a spell scale sorcerer, a tiefling, and a half orc. It sounds like the start of a really bad joke. and everything just goes dead. By the way, one other quick thing. When y'all came into town right inside Audrey, like, some people freaked out. Like, you got a lot of stares in Massgate, and people, like, like, definitely some people went like, ugh, like that, which is what inspired the song. But there are people here who, like, run away screaming when they see it. A few, not everyone, but a few just run away screaming when they see Audrey coming.
These folks got to get out more.
So when the door opens and you walk in, what do y'all say?
Hello.
I feel like we should be running lines from Blazing Saddles. They're good, down to earth folk, salt of the earth. Stupid.
Yes, exactly.
Do you serve beef here? I'd like to order the mutton.
Tick's leaning out from behind his chair. Hey, where are all the dwarf women at?
Oh God.
Yeah.
And inexplicably, of course, Aki is on your shoulder, but inexplicably, Chop comes in behind y'all. You weren't expecting it. You don't know why. He just comes in behind you. And the young guy behind the counter, just this pimply youth, says to you, Merezi, "Oh, we don't got no mutton here. This is eat chicken. We got chicken. You can get like chicken leg. You can get a whole chicken, or you can get like a couple of whole chickens. We can put them together for you if you want. That's what we got for you."
I'd like that.
Terrified.
I walk up to the bar and go, "I want 4 whole fried chickens and some dry white toast."
Okay. That'll be 7 silver pieces, sir.
You got the order
Lovely.
right. 4 whole fried chickens.
Oh, 4 fried chickens and an ale. And some dried white toast.
And some dry white toast.
Well, and a dry white toast. Do you want me to supersize the chickens for just 3 silver more?
Yes.
Okay.
Does he make the chickens bigger? Is there some sort of
I want extra crispy, not the original flavor.
I'd really like to imagine.
There's a really bored.
That there are McDonald's wizards
There's a sorcerer's
who magically
apprentice
make
out the
their
back
burgers
who
bigger.
just needs some work.
Yep. It's literally just this really bored wizard in the back who's just like, Engorgio.
Enlarge.
9 years in wizard school for this.
He only knows
I
one
can't even
spell.
make a living lizard wage.
Okay, and we are having an extreme amount of fun. And a older woman walks right up to you, Athora, and spits on you.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Just spits on you.
And
I let out a deep sigh, and
There's a hiss.
Tix,
I go stand behind Merezi because I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to deal with any of this today. Nope.
No, you do not engage.
Nope. I had dead squirrel chipmunk guts on me today. I'm not in
And-
the mood.
Tix saunters over and, being of his height, elbows the woman or shoulders the woman. And how tall is she?
She's probably like 5'2".
So his shoulder should hit right at her hip, and he bumps into her very roughly and said, "Oh, I am so sorry. It is a shame when people do things that are just rude and unexpected. It would be a shame if that hip became permanently dislocated."
Wow.
Whoa.
Ooh.
So she was building herself up for righteous fury, but part of all of this is that, like, it's one thing to spit on somebody, like, in the heat of a moment. It's another thing to take, like, a double take and go, like, oh, wait, you're all battle-hardened warriors. And she's just like, you actually get the feeling that that's more what it is than anything else, that she's like, oh no, any of you could just straight up tear me in half. And she backs down and, picks up her chicken leg and leaves.
So Tix goes and finds the table in the middle of the hotel lobby where everybody can see him, and stands up on the table and says, let's get one thing clear. We are here and passing through. We are looking for information about a tiefling named Prognati. The sooner we get this information, the sooner we will be gone. If anybody causes problems, we will be here for an extended period of time, and we will make sure that we are in everybody's business. That is,
and we'll eat all your mutton.
You were simply born to racism.
Yes, you will be stuck with our very large friend here for an extended period of time. Now, your city elders
I will not wash.
Yeah. Your city elders have given us these writs of passage, so we will not cause problems as long as you do not cause problems.
Okay.
And he dusts himself off, and he steps down from the table.
Jumps
and he goes, yes. He steps from the table to the chair. And walks back up to the bar, goes, are my chickens ready yet?
Yep, sir. I got chickens. Excuse me. And he points to you, Marezi. Just make sure, clarify, we don't serve any mutton here. We only got chickens. You can get the chicken leg, you can get the whole chicken, or I can get you can supersize it for just 3 silver more.
Take whatever you have and fry it in oil.
And so,
Hey Tix.
Yes.
Hey Tix. Why don't we buy a round for everybody in the house?
That's fine. Tix.
We're flush with cash.
Tix.
Ask cash.
Let's not talk about that.
Tix puts down 5 gold pieces, which should pay for ale for everybody, and says in a very loud voice, yes, we appreciate the chicken, and our Marezi, our half-orc barbarian, often confuses people with mutton, the other white meat.
I like the implication that Marezi has eaten people before. I know he's being threatening, but I'd like to think that he's using a threat based on reality.
Well, you were raised in an orcish tribe. The odds that y'all didn't eat people at some point is small.
Good point.
So, I mean, it's not like you went out and were, like, looking for them, but did you probably eat some defeated enemies?
You never know what's in that stew.
Exactly.
Crocodile,
Whatever goes in the
what's
stew
in
is
stew?
what you eat.
Don't ask.
So,
Exactly.
Tix then holds some gold coins and shakes them in his hands for everybody to see and say, yeah, it would be a real shame if we were here a long time, but, I have a little gold for anybody that has information on Prognati, the tiefling that we're looking for.
Okay, so I would like you to make a diplomacy roll.
Okay.
And because you did such an excellent job, again, you will get this advantage. However, this is at -8.
Oof.
Minus
They really hate you.
But it is an advantage.
That is a 19 and a 20.
A 19 and a 20. Wow. Really good.
And that's +8. So
+8, -8.
+8, so natural 20, natural 19.
Okay. So one, it actually is the owner. Ivaron comes forward, and he's very no nonsense. He's got like short cropped hair. You could just tell this guy used to be in the military. he was definitely a soldier at some point in his life. He's got kind of beefy arms, older, salt and pepper hair. He comes forward and he goes, I heard of this Prognati you're talking about as a, and he kind of nudges his head towards Athora.
Yes.
Like he doesn't even want to say it out loud.
Ouch.
Yeah.
You know, wink.
One of them kind.
Mm-hmm.
Surprised when you walked into the chicken hut. Everybody, you ain't from round here.
And he says, "Well, I heard tell that he went working for," and his voice kind of lowers, like as if he's being overheard. The necromancer.
A necromancer. You have a necromancer in your town?
Well, not in our town. We, of course, expelled the necromancer years ago. But there's a ruined keep up the way, and nobody goes out there. It's out a little ways in the wood, and then there's a little bit of a hill, and well, up on that hill is a ruined keep. Gosh knows how long it's been abandoned, but ain't abandoned no more, and ain't nobody goes near there, 'cause they know the necromancer is inside.
Well, you
Tumbleweed
see,
rolls by.
You see how pleasant this can be. You give us information, and for what we're probably going to pack up and head in that direction right away. Thank you for your cooperation.
You're welcome,
And
kind sir.
I flip him a gold coin.
He snatches it nimbly out of the air, and y'all's chickens arrive, and they are... there should not be chickens this big. They are enormous.
They're almost the size of one of my fists. Wow.
As Morezzi says that from behind the counter, there's this.
Chop, are you going to make any kind of play for these, or are you just kind of...
Oh, hell yeah.
Bag?
Chop's going to go for one.
I got 2 for Chop, because I like pig.
Okay.
So
Yep.
Tix takes 2 chickens over to the pig.
I don't remember how many Morezzi ate, but she definitely eats them and does not spit out the bones.
I want you all to imagine there is a quiet moment in the restaurant, and this is a fairly packed restaurant. It's probably one of because it's meant for the common folk, so it's pretty popular. And just all you hear is the crunching of bones. completely unaware. Morezzi is just sitting there, just and just the entire skeleton of a bird falls down her throat as everyone just looks in horrified silence and is imagining that like she would just like suck out the marrow of their arm if you did anything.
Tix is enjoying this immensely.
Even Chop is looking sideways at Morezzi with like, have some decorum, lady.
Exactly. Have you no shame? Little monocle on the pig. Athora, you are getting by far the dirtiest looks here. Are you doing anything? Are you doing anything particular while you're eating?
Nope. I'm kind of keeping my head down. I don't want to be spit on. I dealt with this my whole life. I'm just gonna ignore it because there's no use.
That is an extremely wise choice and extra experience all around for just taking the high road right now because it's just one, y'all are not supposed to cause any trouble, and 2, it's just not going to help any right now. But the meal is concluded, and you all are able to turn in for the night. It is late now. Is there anything special y'all want to do before going to bed?
Are we going to...
Morezzi probably has to take some fantasy laxatives after that meal.
Just ale all around. And
okay.
I get with Penton and discuss what we have heard and what our plan of action should be.
Chop
Well,
is
did-
going to go hunting someone down.
Oh my.
Okay.
Well,
So
it's probably best
Chop
to
disappears.
it's probably best to wait until dawn, maybe to deal with a necromancer. I don't know, just a thought. So yeah, maybe I don't know if you want to stay in this place. I'm going to be staying on the hut because
I'm going back to the hut.
I was thinking it would be best to keep our group in the hut. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. Avoid being
Okay.
framed for anything or murdered or stuff like that.
Yeah.
As we have established, the hut is much bigger on the inside and can easily house all of you. This is going to be very important later. It is not like completely different, but even with the broken window, you notice that the hut always keeps a very similar temperature inside. And so it is actually fairly comfortable without having to do much. Though you do notice when it's really cold outside, it is colder in the hut. It's not just like nothing.
This place doesn't have a fireplace, does it?
You know what? It is often when Morezi has drawn it, there's usually been a chimney. So I'm going to say yes. There is a small fireplace.
There you go. Okay.
Didn't we establish it had like a little
Like a Franklin stove kind of thing?
stove oven in it kind of thing? Like a
Yeah.
little flue? Like an iron oven in
Yeah.
it?
Let's say that. If I didn't say it before, it's canon now. That and just this was where a witch lived.
Ooh, it has a cannon.
Yes, it also has a cannon and a plasma laser gun.
Sweet.
Nice.
And it transforms
and-
into a TIE fighter.
All right.
That's right.
I think
And an anime girl. It also transforms into an anime girl.
Oh, yes.
Jail.
Pinton and Tix, as they are resting and getting ready for the night, are discussing that the next time they're in a reasonable town with supplies, that they will repair the window and make sure that the chicken hut is completely up to snuff the next time we have a break. Because we always seem to rush from one adventure to another, so it might be good to get this canonized, since it's been several years that we have been working on cleaning it up and getting it a mobile homeworthy, I guess would be the word.
And y'all did finally in canon did say y'all cleaned it up. So
Well, yeah, at least there's that.
it is no longer horrifying inside, but it does it does need some repairs, to be perfectly honest.
Could use some bunks too, probably.
You could do with the proper equipment. You could certainly do just about anything like that, and you have various skills between you that you possibly could. And as the night falls, and those of you who do sleep, and you dream of chipmunks cracking open like rotten eggs, and that's where we'll end. Chafing Armor, episode 89. Thank you all for playing.
Sure.
I had a lovely time.
Tonight was very
glad you-
fun. I got to flex Tix's diplomatic muscle, and that was enjoyable.
I
Some
got
of that was
spit
less
on.
diplomacy and more veiled intimidation at some points.
Isn't that what
Most diplomacy.
That's diplomacy? You're all right.
Yeah.
Can be.
While the movie itself is not good, I do actually like the line from Attack of the Clones, aggressive negotiation. The negotiation with lightsabers.
Yeah.
That's right.
So this, there is some of that. So we appreciate you all playing, and stay tuned, everyone. We'll get back to this incredibly racist town and what's going on with this necromancer and where the heck Osokai is. We'll get to that eventually as well. But until then, good night, everybody,
Good night.
Good night.
night.
and we will roll with you soon.